Hey all, I've been putting off this video for a while, which is what I, as an ENFJ, how I view ISTJs. And I'm going to do the same disclaimer like I did in my other videos that I did about the different types. And I'll say that this is just my perspective. A lot of people have commented on my other videos where I shared my opinion of a type, and they would say, hey, you're being so subjective. You are, just doing things based on your feelings, and to which I respond, yeah, I know. I'm sharing my perspective. I'm not, if you want to Google what is an ISTJ, you can go ahead and do that, but I'm not going to be doing that here. I'm going to be explaining my perception of ISTJs. And the reason why I've been putting this off is because of the phrase, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. And also because I'm not as familiar with the ISTJ type because we tend to clash. I don't think I've ever had a close ISTJ friend. But the thing is that I can sort of shit on every other type, and as you'd see, like, if you only watched one of my videos and you were that type, like a lot of the INTPs took it very personally and were very upset on their video, which if you watched my other videos, you'll know that I was also critiquing, like, basically every type. Even my own, which no one really even watched my, how I view ENFJ's videos, so it's not like I think I'm better than everyone. Like, I've been critiquing almost every type. But the difference is that it's easier to understand and it's easier to empathize, it's easier to empathize with a perspective whenever you understand where it's coming from. And ISTJs, I don't understand where they're coming from. And so I didn't want to just get on here and tell you how much I hate them or what I don't like about them whenever I don't know what it's like to live as an ISTJ. I don't have really any idea. And I understand it must be very different from the way I perceive and the way I feel. And so, I don't know. It seems like I feel like I'm not the best person to ask about their view of an ISTJ, but my first impressions are that they're too rigid, they're shy, they are in desperate need of love, but they don't know how to get it, and so they don't have a purpose in life, and they're just grinding away, and they're just so disillusioned and so just out of touch with what's important, and just trying to check all the boxes off without even trying to understand, like, is this even going to get me what I want? And so, to me, like, my entire goal as a person is to be my best self and to also, like, shake up the status quo, because I feel like the status quo is, like, in the way of my happiness, and I view ISTJs as the status quo. They just consistently uphold the status quo time and time again. And they don't seem to really question, like, what their beliefs are. They will tend to just believe whatever they read on the news. And they're gonna want, like, facts. They say that they want facts to back things up, but they pick and choose which facts they listen to and which facts they don't, it seems like. And if you saw my ISTP video and you saw how confused I was by them, which, by the way, I'm going to make an amended thoughts on ISTPs another time because that video was kind of atrocious and didn't really make sense. If you watch that video, you'll see that similarly to the ISTP, I'm quite confused by the ISTJ, by what their motives are, but the difference is I don't care. With ISTJs, I'm not really as curious or motivated to figure them out because it seems to be just the opposite of what I believe in, and so I'm not that curious about it. But ISTPs, I tend to be very curious about how they work because I find them fascinating. But similarly, as an IST type, they sort of keep to themselves and can be very subdued and soft-spoken even, I don't know. And so it's easy for me to look over them, honestly. And hopefully this video can give you some sort of sense of ENFJ, ISTJ type relations just by hearing my individual perspective and theorizing about it yourself. That's why a point I really want to hone in about my philosophy on this is that I'm not saying that my perspective is the end-all be-all, but I want you to think for yourself, and I want my audience to be critical thinkers and not just believe whatever they hear on the internet. And the only truth I really can speak to is my own truth. Like, I could tell you all day the Myers-Briggs says this, the socionic says this, but I only really know my own truth, and so you can listen to my own truth and take that what you will, if that makes sense. Like, you can make your own conclusions about what you think ENFJ and ISTJ type relations look like, because I only know what my relations are. I only know that I'm an ENFJ, and I know what certain ISTJs are like, and there were some other comments on I think my INTP video. Someone said recently, like, this is such a small sample size. Why should I believe your view of INTPs? To which I am just like, that's the point. Of course it's a small sample size. I'm not trying to make a sweeping statement. I'm just telling you my perspective. Take with it what you will. Think for yourself. And that's where, like, I have the ISTJs, I have practically no sample size. I'm sure a lot of you are wonderful people. And if you are an ISTJ and you're watching this, please, like, here, let me come up with some questions. I was going to say, comment and sort of tell me, how do you view the world? And how do you experience your emotions? Because to me, it seems like they look down at people who express their emotions, which is me, which I don't like. And it seems like they either look down at people for expressing their emotions, or they're afraid to express their emotions. And they just always want to be normal. They always want to fit the status quo. And they seem like factory workers to me, which I think that we need to get away from that mentality and think for ourselves. And they seem to like to be told what to do and to just have a stable life. And they don't really seem to like risk. And just everything about it seems just completely not what I'm about. Like, I'm about expressing my emotion, taking risks, going after my passions, like telling the people around my life that I care about them, that I love them. Both my grandpa and my step-grandpa are ISTJs. My grandpa's passed away, but I don't think he ever told me he loved me, like, his entire life. Like, I know he loved me, but he didn't tell me, and he died before he got to tell me he loved me. Sure, he gave me a car, and that's wonderful. Like, I love my grandpa. I know he loved me, and he was an amazing person. And I'm not saying that ISTJs are bad people. If you watch my ESTJ video, you'll see that I really understand that STJs, the way that they feel love is very intense. But I guess I'm of the belief that if you feel something, then you might as well share it. Like, if you love someone, why are you not telling them? Like, it does no use. That feeling there's no use of it's just sticking inside your head. And you never know, it might be too late. Like, maybe you wish you would have expressed more. And so, I don't know. That's my views of ISTJs, is that you should think for yourself more. You should be afraid, or not be afraid to be different. You should not hold all your feelings in all the time. And I'm not telling you to be what you're not. Like, you should be what you are, but it's just, I think what it is that whenever you're really skilled at something and somebody else is flawed in it, it's really easy to see their flaws. So when I look at an ISTJ, I'm just like, whoa, they're emotionally bruised. They're an emotional child. Oh my goodness. They don't know how to express their emotions. They don't know how to have a healthy relationship. Oh my goodness, is like what I think. But that being said, an ISTJ probably looks at me and thinks through their lens of SI and TI, like, oh my god, like, she's such a mess. She doesn't say what she says, she doesn't get done what she says she's gonna get done. Like, she doesn't, she's not consistent at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I hope that it's clear in all of these videos that whenever I am criticizing someone based on their weakness, it's like, I have a weakness that is just as strong in a different area. But, yeah, and so, yeah, I've been putting off doing this video because I know that it's either going to seem really like I have nothing interesting to say, or it's going to seem kind of cruel. Like, I don't really know. Sure, hashtag not all ISTJs, but a lot of ISTJs just, they really live life by the rule book, which I hate rules. Like, fuck rules. Like, fuck stability, fuck rules. That's basically what I think about ISTJs. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe and comment below if you have any other video ideas that you'd like to see in the near future. Alright, happy Monday.